Hello and welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot. Today we are doing the next 3 months, your next quarter. Now this is a timeless reading. We're starting it in April, so if you're feeling the springtime vibes when you see this video, we're in spring again, if that matters to you, you can always watch it at that time or any other time of the year. So to pick your pile, you'll either pick the Two of Wands in this pink deck, the Two of Wands in my new Serious Tarot deck, or the Two of Wands here in my fairy tale inspired deck. Pause the video if you need a moment to decide, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, group number one. Picked the pink deck. This is the Lovely Omens Tarot, and you are in the right place. We're going to start off actually with getting you a Oracle deck card from the Crystal Grid Oracle. So let's see what comes out for you this next 3 months. Ooh, okay, we have, looks like two. Oh, we have a couple cards. I'm going to take the first two. And we have Fun and Love. Ooh, I don't know. Are you going to be in some sort of like casual thing coming up? Maybe. I mean, that does sound fun. I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but those are the cards that we got. And we're going to use that as somewhat of a theme moving forward into the rest of your reading. Okay, this seemed to come out and this seemed like it wanted to come out. So we have the Five of Wands upright, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So let's put this here. Let's see what else we can, this one came out. Okay. The Hangman, but in reverse. I know she looks like she's upright. It's not how she's supposed to look. When the card is upright. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have a lot to say about your next few months. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. We have upright. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Ooh. We're going to go back to the bottom. Let's see. There we go. Everything looks straight for you guys. Maybe. Let's see. Okay. Swords. We have Six of Pentacles in reverse. Wow, and your last two cards came out together. We have Temperance and the Knight of Swords. Interesting ending to this. Okay. Let's see. Let's scoot them in a little bit. There you go. Now you can see everything correctly. Is that still in here? Yes. Yes. Everything is looking good. Sorry, I just want things to be even for you guys. Awesome. So we have fun, we have love, and to be honest, I'm seeing you looking for new love. This may not be news to you if you've been looking for a while, but for the next 3 months, I am seeing that you're going to have a very fun time in the dating scene. Now, not necessarily that we're getting a new person, but enjoying looking for that new person, okay? So first we have the Five of Wands. There may be somewhat tension. Five of Wands is like not real fights or just like little bickering here and there. But since we're talking about looking for a new romantic partner, I'm seeing that more of just, having a rough first start. You may be trying different apps, you may be trying to talk to different people, you may be trying to get into different circles, you may be trying a lot of different things to find someone new, and at first it may be a little less fun, okay? I mean, the dating scene nowadays pretty much is. It's kind of hard to find a person that you want to deal with nowadays out in these love streets, but that is okay because that quickly changes. I have here with the Eight of Pentacles that, I'm getting like experienced person here as far as getting into relationships. Like you've been there, done that. You probably have a couple of relationships under your belt. So getting back into the thick of things, it doesn't hold you back too much that you feel friction. You're just kind of like, I'll find someone, I find someone, and I'm just going to go with the flow, which is really going to help you moving forward when you are looking for your new person. I mean, honestly, this is flowing really well because then we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So the Hangman, when it is upright, is a card about being stuck in one place. It's about not really moving forward. You're just thinking and pondering on something. So it can be you're paused because you're taking your time and you're thinking on things, or it could be because of other circumstances. But since you have it upright, I'm thinking that your stalled time is over. So it may just be that when you move forward, like, you're not going to let anything hold you back. You may have a lot of things coming. You may have a lot of, like, issues and barriers as you're trying to find your new relationship, but you're just like, I don't care. This is important to me, and if nothing else, I'm going to be out here making choices, weeding people out and such. With the Queen of Pentacles, I also feel like this is a great time for you because you already have all your things in a row. You already have your things together. Because you have all the stuff together on your side, you're just not too worried. You know that you're a good catch. I'm not seeing a lot of wobbling on your side. You're like, this is what I have. I know I'm a catch. You can come to me or you can be lame. Those are your choices. With the Ace of Swords in reverse, especially with love, there may be a more serious contender or someone that you're more interested in when you start out. And that person, it may fizzle out really quickly. And this may be like a month into looking. This may be a couple of months into looking, in the next 3 months. But the first contender that you have, I'm seeing you may be really hopeful for. And with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, they may remind you of like an upgrade of an ex. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're with somebody and you thought they were great and they were perfect and it didn't work out, and then later on you meet someone who's like them plus and you're like, oh, this is the person I was meant to meet. The cards are saying maybe not so much. That's usually, I mean, I feel like that's happened to me and I'm like, oh, never mind. There's a reason I wasn't with that person. So really looking at what it says, I think there may be someone who comes in when you're initially looking who really looks promising, and it's a kind of a bummer that it doesn't work out. They're checking a lot of boxes for you. So just be aware of that. Just keep a good head on your shoulders. Like, you still know that you are still the prize. And I think it's maybe a little surprise moment for yourself, because I have Temperance here and then Knight of Swords, which, like I said again, was a really interesting and positive end to everything else that's going on. Because Temperance is about two things mixing that don't usually go together, and then the Knight of Swords is about very swift truth coming in, facts and things that come in quickly that change the situation. So what I'm seeing is there may be someone who, you know, you put on the bottom of the list. You're like, yeah, I'll date them, but I'm not super like thinking that this is an option. I think you're going to catch yourself like going on the next date, going on the next date, going on the next date with this person. Even if it's like super casual, maybe it's not like formally a date, you know, we're Netflixing and chilling or we're getting coffee or whatever. But either way, you're going to find yourself just like returning back to this person and you're like, huh, is this going somewhere? Maybe it's going somewhere. I don't know. And then there's going to be something, like, it's going to be very sudden. It's going to be a new piece of information, something they say, something they do really quick. It's going to make this fall into a more serious situation for you. So it's going to catch you by surprise a little bit, which, you know, a bit fun when you realize, oh, shoot. This person's actually pretty awesome. So what I've got for you with your main cards, I'm going to get one more Oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck and see, ooh, there we go, higher power. Okay, this may be like a very important relationship, okay, with the higher power card. I don't like to say, like, I don't want to try to predict people coming together or like soulmates or anything like that, but a very significant relationship may be coming in at the tail end of these 3 months. So this is card number 4. Let's see what it says. And it says, essential meaning, conscious contact with the higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. Okay. This card reminds you that you are the more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what's the highest good for all? How can I serve and get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know? You are always protected and divinely directed. Okay. I'm going to hold. I'm not saying anything else and read the relationship message. Okay, that's all on this page. It's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power. calling God, Goddess, Spirit, and other names that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority. This appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connections and remain aware of your true nature. So I see that this card is saying two things. On one end, it's saying, where did it go? It says, how can I serve? And then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. So I see that as, again, being very adventurous, casual, going out there, like trusting that things will work out. So not necessarily being so serious in the process of being serious about who you spend time with after the fact. So again, there may be a lot of in this next 3 months with this person or these people that you're, seeing a bunch of different people, you're seeing where things go, and eventually you find who you want to spend more time with. And so the process isn't necessarily like do this and do this and do the other thing. It's going to be a bunch of different things. And then we have the relationship message that says you have a deep spiritual bond between you and another person. So that's what I was saying, is like I think this is going to be a very significant person that comes in kind of the tail end of that 3 months. I also want to make clear that it also says there's a really significant connection between you and Spirit, whatever you would call Spirit. And I think that goes back to the Queen of Pentacles, like taking care of yourself first, which I think you already have handled based on these cards. If you're not too worried about that. But this person who comes in after you kind of give up the process to life and how things work, is really the best option is going to come towards you. So very exciting. Hope that resonated. If so, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's Court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. If you picked this black deck, my Serious Tarot deck, then you were in the right place. And we're going to start off by picking an oracle card for you for this reading. Wow, okay. Spirit really wants me to just give everyone 2 cards, so that may be just what happens. We have protection and prosperity over the next couple of months. Okay. So we may be having a bit of situation that we're coming out of in these next 3 months. So if you've been dealing with something earlier in the year, this is definitely for you, or at least earlier from when you see this video, since it is timeless. And Spirit wants you to know that you are divinely protected and that there's something coming in for you. So we have 4 of Swords in reverse. Wow, okay. One of these went off screen. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Temperance in reverse. Okay. I'll put it on screen. 2 of Pentacles. Love that for you. Make sure everything is straight. Okay, we have 4 more. Interesting. Okay, well, you can see this one, the Fool in reverse. Let's see how much we can get out of here. These are 4 more cards. We have 4 Pentacles in reverse, 9 of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals for you. 9 of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. Okay, well, I don't think the Knight of Wands is going to really fit in here. Maybe I can put this card in there later. So what I'm seeing from the protection and prosperity is that there may be someone who's in the way of your progress at this time. Do not be worried about them. Okay? Do not be worried about whoever it is who's trying to get in your way. Okay? If that's all people can do is get in your way, then they're already on the weaker end, right? Because you're the one who's progressing. They're just like a doorstop. What I'm seeing with 4 of Swords in reverse is that you're not getting a lot of rest right now. Like, you need to sleep. You really need to take your rest. Do not let this person's nonsense and they're getting in your way and all that crap bother you. I mean, really, at the end of the day, I mean, it's probably going to bother you a little bit in the background because you know what's going on, but that doesn't mean you stop what you're doing. With the Queen of Swords upright, you're all about the truth, and more importantly, with the Queen of Swords, I love this card, by the way. I think it's like one of the most prettiest cards. I have, get up. No, I can't get it up with my nails. No. There we go. The Queen of Swords. What I really like this about, it's actually better than the the King of Swords card, because this is about balance of emotion and wisdom, okay? About knowledge, facts, and the balance of emotions. So you really have to get into that energy, and Spirit is telling me you will get into that energy. Like, once you start getting more on rest and stop worrying about this person or the situation, all of a sudden things are going to bounce a lot better for you. I'm also seeing with Temperance in reverse right next to the Two of Pentacles that the other thing that you should probably stop over these next couple of months is trying to make something happen that just does not want to happen. I don't even think that you're trying to do it. I think that you're just in a situation where stuff is happening around you. And with the Two of Pentacles, I see that you're juggling a lot of things and you're able to do it. And so far you're like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. But like sometimes the point isn't that you can do it. It's like, should you be though? And the Spirit is telling you with Temperance in reverse that like kind of let it go. Whatever's not mixing together, it's not up to you, or the stories already went past. Like, do not worry about it. You can't spend the next few months worrying about other people who do not have their shit together. That's not your problem. But the Fool too, which I think is kind of interesting here. It's interesting that you have these particular cards in reverse in this way. You're not starting a new journey. With Prosperity, I feel like whatever path you're already on is the prosperous one. You actually don't need anything from this person or people who are trying to mess with you, and that may be the point. They may want you to need them. They may want you to like have to go to them for something. But you just don't fucking have to. You can literally just keep going on your same path, and it will bring people in, or it will bring prosperity in, or success in. Whatever you're looking for, it will come in, as long as you just keep doing with what you're doing. So you don't have to worry about some brand new thing. You actually have a lot of knowledge in a certain area, and you may already be aware of that, and they may already be aware of that. And that's why the situation has been testy. But do your own path. Like, this is like someone who is on a team that's adjacent to yours, but isn't really on your team, who keeps trying to give you suggestions that you don't care about and don't want. And because you haven't started going to them for advice, maybe you've been really polite and you're like, oh yeah, thank you, I'm gonna do that thing, and then they see that you don't, and that you haven't started going to them for more advice. They're taking that very personal, because they already decided that you were going to look up to them, or they were going to be your mentor or something. And because that never happened, they got a little bitchy about it. But you already know where you're going. You already know where you're going. You would have asked if you had questions. You don't have questions. But the Four of Pentacles in reverse too, I'm seeing that you're going to start seeing the progress come in. It may not happen all at once, it may not be sudden, but you're going to start seeing the results of your work, and it's going to come in monetarily over time. So you may have started really budgeting. Oh, I see that really soon you're going to stop feeling like you actually have to. You're going to be like, oh, wow, actually, the money is coming in, or, I do see growth in my accounts. I do see that I was able to sell X amount, or if you're making commission, you're making really good commission. Like, you're going to realize, like, oh, like, I don't need to be that strict with myself. What I was thinking, my ideas are actually working. But the Nine of Cups in reverse too, I'm seeing that a wish isn't going to be immediately fulfilled. Yeah, especially with the Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. So it's not going to be luxury amount money all at once. Something happens, you get a windfall. It's not going to be that. It's going to be slowly over time. It's coming in, but it's taking its time. So don't get disgruntled as things come in and think, yeah, it's positive, but it's so slow. Like, it's supposed to be slow. Sometimes that slow and steady is what wins the race. And the Knight of Wands, again, like, don't lose your passion for whatever it is you're trying to do just because somebody else wants to try to be like in charge of your project. Like, that's not how things work over here. Okay? It's your house. Things work the way you want them to. And especially if you're seeing the correct results, like, you don't need to go backwards. For what? So this is saying, like, don't lose the passion for what you have. It is coming in. It's not going to come in as quickly as you want it to, such as life. But that doesn't mean it's not coming in. It's going to be on its timetable. Sometimes it's just how things are. Things come in on their own timetable. So I'm going to go ahead and get you another card. This is going to be the Oracle deck, Wisdom of the Oracle. I love these cards. They're so detailed and so pretty, by the way. I have not been able to come up with another deck that is on the level of this one, honestly. Like, and I see it in so many other readings. If you've seen it online other places, it's just I haven't seen an Oracle deck that's on this level. So this is time to go. 45. Now, don't jump to any conclusions yet. I know sometimes with the titles it seems very to the point and obvious. But let's see. Time to go. Ending is completion. Walking away from something because there's nothing left to learn or experience. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is a moment to bless your experience as far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There's nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in the present circumstance. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for some time. Your destiny is calling you. And we're going to jump over to the prosperity message of prosperity. This message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. Woo! It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You finish your task and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity. Even better than any that you can imagine. You have done all you can. Now trust that Spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life, and remember that when you close one door, another opens. Okay, now protection. Even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later. So consider this is a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny and your soul does. Spirit loves you. Trust that. You are at a place where you could go forward. You could, well, really at the end of the day, you are choosing your own path, which is already what I saw in the cards beforehand, right? You're not listening to this person, this group, this whoever who thinks that they're going to give you advice. That's not for you. You are going on your own path. Now, with the protection and prosperity, we're getting dual messages here. One is just completely leave something alone. And the other message is you're not necessarily ending. This may come full circle. So I think there's a pretty clear divide in the collective of who is going to get this group. Some of you may hear back from this party, this group, this person. Some of you may not care. And I think that's what's really there at the end of the day, is that it's going to be your choice and you're fine either way. And if it's meant to be, they will come back. You will get a call one day. Someone will talk to you and be like, you did your own thing and it turned out better. Or you didn't need our advice on this area and look what you were able to do. What did you do? How did you do it? Okay, so you may actually hear back once you are on your way because you actually knew what you were talking about the whole entire time, whether they wanted to listen or if they were so focused on being, top dog in that situation instead of just hearing what you had to say or watching what you were doing. So the next 3 months is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very much you on your own path. You're going to get exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you deserve, a lot of positive things, and people are going to have to watch you be successful. If that resonated, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's Court, both here on YouTube or over on TikTok, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3. This is the deck you chose with the fairy tales and myths and legends cards, and you're in the right place. Let me go ahead and get a Oracle deck card for you. You may get 2. These cards have been sticking, so let's see what we get. That is way too many. We will get the first 2, and yes, they have in fact been sticking. You got 3 technically. I'm not going to do that one. Sorry. We have Crossroads and Ground. Ooh, you have a whole seeing here, so what I'm seeing with these two oracle cards with your reading is that you are, well, at a crossroads. You're going to have to make a very important decision over this next 3 months, and Spirit is asking you to ground in order to center yourself before you do anything. Now, if you're kind of wondering what does that mean by ground, what that means is, I mean, the most basic way is that you get your feet on the actual earth, grass and or dirt. Gravel will do. Though I don't know if you really want to stand on gravel. All right. But basically, in order to make a decision, Spirit wants you to be as clear-headed as you can be. And in order to be as clear-headed, grounding is a really good way to do that. You can also meditate. If you want to meditate, that's definitely a good way to do that. Or if you do something else, you do Reiki, you do crystal balls, do that. Whatever thing that gets you calm and connected, especially, you know, if you're a plant person. I like plants. I cannot grow plants to save my life. So I do not. But, you know, if that's something you do, you know, spend some time with your plants. Whatever need be. And that's in order to get closer to earth, to nature, to kind of calm things. You know, I've been taking horseback riding lessons recently over the last couple of months. And, I was surprised. Sometimes I'm really anxious or wound up just because I have a really busy life. I have to commute a lot to work and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm typically on the go. And I notice, you know, I spend an hour in a lesson and all of a sudden I am just cool as a cucumber. And it doesn't take the whole hour either. 15 minutes on the horse and all of a sudden I'm a whole new person. And I know people say that. They say, like, oh, you know, riding horses is really calming and all stuff. But I don't know. I always kind of thought it was a little hokey, and now I'm like, grounding. Let's see. Queen of Wands in reverse. I mean, I actually have the Nine of Cups down here for you. So we'll read that at the end. So let's see what this crossroads is. I think you have some sort of relationship. No, it does not have to be a love relationship. It can be. I think this is really going to be up to the individual, so take it as it resonates. Whether or not it's like a romantic relationship or not. So I see that you are in some sort of relationship that it's not ending, okay? But you're feeling like it's not continuing in a prosperous way. It's kind of just going on and just it's not just ending, and you're not really into it, but maybe not something terrible is not happening. Again, this does not have to be a romantic relationship. This can be a partnership of work or friendship, something like that. And I'm seeing with the Seven of Swords, I think there's going to be some information that comes in that someone was doing something in the background. Someone was being sneaky. Someone was lying. There was something else someone was doing in the background. And for some of you, that may have already happened, and that's why things just seem like awkward. But I have a feeling for most of you that it's going to come in that something was being done in the background that was very shady. But the Ten of Wands, that's really that's going to come in and make you think, I need to kind of let go of this connection. Like, this is not serving me. So in the next 3 months, we're going to have a disconnect with someone, or at the very least, distancing. I say distancing because this is not the Ten of Swords, so it's not a definitive this is over, but it is a laying down of rest. This is kind of a dramatic card with the tree growing through the skull. But really what we're saying here is that this is a really heavy relationship. There's a lot there, and so it's costing you a lot of energy. And so there may be a significant distancing if it's not an actual end. And then with the Hermit mode as well, you're taking your time to think. So you're not going to jump back into this relationship. You're not going to jump back into something that's similar. You're really going to take your time and go, do I want to entertain this any longer? It's going to be one of those. Do I entertain this any longer? And you're going to take your time to think. With the Knight of Cups, I do see in that time zone that somebody else may come in. Again, could be romance. It does not have to be. And when someone else comes in, you're going to see what it could be. It could be that this other person makes you really happy. It could be that this sort of shows you, okay, these are the things that were wrong in this other relationship, and it's going to make it very, very clear what's going wrong and where things are going right. The Four of Wands in reverse, though, what I do see is that this person, whoever it is not going to become foundational. So this person or this interaction that you have, this partnership, this person may make you very happy, but they're not going to be able for some reason to replace the other person's position. So if this is some sort of breakup or some sort of break with you and somebody else in a relationship, you may take some time apart from each other, and you, in that break, you may meet someone who like really lights up your day, but that person's already in another relationship, so like obviously nothing can happen there. Or they, you know, maybe have different interests than you know, or they, if it's like work or something like that, it may be that they have this really cool job, this really cool department. The more they talk to you about it, the more interested you get. You're like, oh, that's really interesting. But they don't have any openings, so you can't take that job because that job does not exist in that capacity. So I'm going to see that your eyes are going to be opened to a new way of doing things, but you're not necessarily going to be given the green light to do the thing that you want to do by the person who kind of opens your eyes or the situation. With the Chariot, Spirit is encouraging you to take, you know, opportunity in your own hands, to take your own initiative and create what you want. So when someone comes in and shows you like this is how things would be if they were better, don't wait on somebody else to come in and give that to you, or another situation come in and give you permission. Do that yourself. And interesting enough, I think it's interesting that you have the Chariot to take things in your own hands, but then you have the Queen of Wands. Because the Queen of Wands is a very independent, does it all by herself, she don't need no man kind of card. It's in reverse. And I'm seeing that as you want support, you want a partner, you want a team in whatever it is you're trying to do, love or otherwise. And I do have that feeling that you may actually, by the time the course is 3 months goes through, go back to that person, that partnership, that group, of thing, and go, look, we can do better. This is the Nine of Cups. This is the card that came out at the bottom. We can do better. We can actually have the perfect connection between the two of us. But in order to do that, we need to do things a little differently. Because what we were doing before wasn't working. It felt like lingering on forever. And I already saw what a good version of this looks like. I was somewhere else and I was like, wow, that's what we should have been doing. So I think new ideas about how to do things better is going to come up. And what your choice is really going to be is, are we coming back from this break, or do we just cut ties? Like, are they willing to make those changes, or are they just like, no, what we were doing was what makes sense and we're not going to do anything different? So let's go ahead and get your Oracle card, your final ones from a different deck. So look into the Oracle deck and see what it has to say. Ooh. Okay, so there's no reversals here, but we have soulmates. Wow, with the Nine of Cups. This is one of my favorite cards. This is one of my favorite cards. So I said it didn't have to be love, and it still does not have to be, but whatever comes in or however you change things is going to be significant. I actually think, as this with the Two of Cups and then the Nine of Cups, all these cards together, romantic relationship, scoot over, romantic relationship or otherwise, you're about to create your perfect relationship. Sometimes it's not about like, oh, I actually meet my soulmate. Instead, it's I create my soulmate. You and this person are committed together, and you work together to create the relationship and the interactions between each other that are perfect for your relationship. So harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. What did I just say? You are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by strong aversion to them initially too. Just so you know, because you started this off kind of worried. Sometimes that's what happens. Soulmates can be friends for life or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gifts. So we do have a relationship message. That's the one of prosperity and protection. I'm going to read the relationship one, but just keep an open mind that this does not have to be a romantic relationship. But, you know, there are hearts everywhere, so what can I do? Consider love in the deepest sense. Love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude or break you open so you will finally claim who you were meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate come to guide you home to the real you. Yeah. So I think I can't guarantee that someone's going to come back, right? But I do have a feeling that you at least will bring that kind of level option back to this person. You are there to create something very strong with somebody else, and it may take the break to be like, no, I'm for sure this is my person. It's not that they are the wrong person, we were doing the wrong things. And we need to take that break and see other people doing it well, other people doing it right, to know, oh shit, like this is what we actually should have been doing. This is how we guide ourselves back to the correct thing. So, very exciting for your next 3 months. Feel free to come back and leave a comment. Tell me how things go. If this resonated, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Actresses Court, either here on YouTube or over on TikTok. And I will see you next time. Bye!